Introducing to you first, fighting to my right out of the red corner. He comes in wearing white with black trim. His official weight, 154 pounds. His record stands at 7 wins, opposite a single defeat. 3 wins coming by way of knockouts. Fighting out of Austin, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Cesar Vila. And his adversary fighting to my left out of the blue corner. He comes in wearing blue, red, and gold. His official weight, 153 pounds. He enters the ring undefeated, 12 wins, half a dozen victories coming by way of knockouts. From Cleveland, Ohio, a 2012 United States Olympian, please welcome Terrell Gausha.
Yes. All right, guys, I gave you both instructions. I just want to remind you to listen and obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Fight hard, fight clean. Both sets of trunks look like they're going to come creeping up. I'm going to let them work in here. Good luck to both of you.
That, of course, is Jack Reese, our referee. Teddy Atlas, several former champions on the card tonight, perhaps some future champions as well. 3 hours. Are you ready, Teddy?
I'm ready. Ready to rumble.
What do you know about these two gentlemen starting our action off in the middleweight division?
Well, first of all, I would favor Gausha. Gausha, 2012 Olympian for the United States team, much more amateur experience than Villa. 150 amateur fights, if you want to know exactly how many he had. Villa about 65, and the only loss for Villa, who is 7-1, well, that only loss came by majority decision. That's the good news. The bad news, it came to a 7-6-1 opponent. So does that put the warning lights on as to the legitimacy of Villa's record? Well, that's up for Gausha to find out.
This is an 8-rounder, and as we mentioned, a couple of big-name fighters on the card. Austin Trout and 46-year-old Antonio Tarver. What do you think about Antonio?
I think he's 46 years old. And I think that he talked about wanting to be the oldest heavyweight champ of the world. One of the problems was that the guy who has the record is George Foreman, who I know very well. I know his work, unfortunately, up close. And
receiving in.
When you usually win the heavyweight title at the eldest age, you're usually a heavyweight. The problem with Antonio, he's moved up from light heavyweight. But we'll see. It should be interesting. Hopefully it'll be interesting. But right now, starting the night off, again, Gausha, the Olympian from 2012, he's deciding to box a little bit. You know, feel out Villa a little bit. Get him into his sights, so to speak. Figure out what he's doing. Grab him on the inside because he's not sure if he's a good inside fighter yet. So he grabs him. He will compute all the data that he's accumulated this first round. And then with his 150 amateur fights behind him, I would think Gausha would come out the next round and try to use some of that data.
Come on, your hands are free. Work out.
As I mentioned, Villa, a 2-time Texas State Golden Gloves champion. I guess it depends on where you win your Golden Gloves to how much it means. Obviously, in New York, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's a big deal is, and I'm glad you brought that up, if you just look at his record, most of his fights, Villa's fights have been in Texas. His only loss, you got it, when he fought outside of Texas. So I guess he likes home cooking. Not good outside. Villa turning southpaw. Now, what does that mean? It means you're trying to confuse Gausha or Gausha a little bit, because I'm confused pronouncing his name.
You'll get it.
So maybe he's trying to confuse him a little bit. Right now, he's trying to keep him on the ropes.
Make sure you score tonight's fights on our Friday Night Fights Facebook page. Click the app and score along at home. Round 1, done.
Are you sick?
Back to our ESPN boxing special. Our first bout is underway. It's in the middleweight division. Cesar Vila wearing the white trunks, taking on Terrell Gausha in the red, gold, and blue. An interesting combination.
You know, I had said the last round that Gausha was computing the data that he was accumulating as he got through this first round with Vila. Vila's doing the same thing. You know what he noticed, Todd, in that first round? I heard it in the corner. I eavesdropped a little bit to his trainer. Vila and his
shots here by Vila.
Vila in his corner, they noticed that when he gets in close, Gausha does tie up. So the way they translated it to Vila is Gausha doesn't like to fight on the inside. So now you know what to do the rest of the 7 rounds. Get in close, and that's what he's doing. Get in close, because in their mind, Gausha is not a guy that has an appetite for inside fighting. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. But that's from the information they got from that first round.
Well, Vila told us that he used to be a brawler and would beat everyone with that style, but he's trying to box a little bit more, considers himself more of a boxer-puncher. But if you're a brawler, you need to get inside to land those haymakers.
Yeah, but like you said, he's not always a brawler. Yeah, he got close. Now he's landing the left hand from the southpaw position. And again, he turns southpaw to confuse Gausha, and he is confusing him a little bit. Gausha's not sure where the punches are coming from.
And he's forcing Gausha to fight back off the ropes. Nice jab there from Gausha.
Gausha found the home paw punch, and whoa, gonna stay with it. It's the uppercut on the inside. And I think that's gonna be there for him against Vila, because Vila gets inside. He doesn't move that head. You can split his guard right up the middle. I think you're gonna see a lot more uppercuts as the fight goes on from Gausha.
Gausha trying to establish the jab now, but Vila with a 1-2.
I think that you've seen already Gausha a little bit more dimensional, a little bit more well-rounded. He can slug a little bit, even though that's not his forte, and he can box. It looks like Vila, well, it looks like he likes to be right here in the kitchen.
Vila more than happy to sit down on his punches, throw them as hard as he can. Whereas it seems like Gausha a little more selective. There's a good decision.
I think the main thing is, as I said, Gausha more dimensional. He's got choices. I don't think Vila has a lot of choices. His choice is to come forward and get it on.
A great opportunity for both these fighters on national television in prime time. Trying to get their name out there. Look what I can do. Tonight's ESPN Boxing Special is presented by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach. There is the Pechanga Resort and Casino. Beautiful golf course outside, one of the top 30 casino courses in the country. A new list just came out. Here we go in round 3 of this middleweight contest. Terrell Gausha and Cesar Vila. Gausha, an Olympian, fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio. 5-time Golden Gloves champion. Vila, a 2-time Golden Gloves champion out of the state of Texas.
You know, I mentioned in the last round, Vila more one-dimensional. I think our fans have gotten that point already. Where that's going to be a problem for him is that one dimension is inside, where he is right now. He likes to be inside. But at the end of the day, I don't know if he's going to get the better of it, because he's a smaller guy. Most of his fights at 152 junior middleweight his whole career, while Gausha has been at middleweight and above for half his career. So the stronger guy, maybe, if they go both of them on the inside, maybe is the bigger guy, Gausha. We'll find
nice
out
uppercut
right now.
there by Gausha, sneaking that one in on Vila. But Vila continues to throw. Defense is not his top priority.
And he's thrown from the southpaw position again. Vila, you know, I think he's pulling everything out, all the tricks out. He knows he's the underdog here with the Olympian with a lot more amateur experience. So he's trying everything, including turning southpaw.
Another lead right hand there from Gausha connects. Would you like your fighters, if they could, to switch stances often?
I like to be good in one place. You know, speak one language really well. Do everything right. Have the grammar perfect. Usually you do a good job with that.
How's your grammar?
Not the best. But sitting next to you, it's going to get better. I've never been mistaken for Orson Welles.
A body shot connecting there from Gausha. A very spirited contest here, our opening bout on this ESPN boxing special. Still to come in our main event. We've got Austin No Doubt Trout, Luis Grajeda, also in the heavyweight division. Antonio the Magic Man Tarver and Jonathan Banks.
And right now you got Gausha trying to give a boxing lesson to the one-dimensional Vila who's just walking in.
And you can see Gausha's timing gets better and better.
Yeah, his defense is better too. You know, he's a little harder to hit. He controls range. Really, his attitude right now, Gausha, is I'll take what you give me. You come forward, and I'll take a little bit of you at a time. Like that.
Stop. Break, step out clean.
We're back here on ESPN2 for this ESPN boxing special, headed into round 4 of 8 in the middleweight division. Terrell Gausha wearing the blue, gold, and red trunks. Cesar Vila, 28-year-old, in the white and black. And once again, Vila going right back to the well, straight ahead, bulldog style. You've been scoring at home, I'm sure, on our Friday Night Fights Facebook page. Let's see how you've got it through 3 rounds. Well, here's Teddy's score. He's got Gausha 3 rounds to none, 30-27. As for you, 2 rounds to 1 for Vila. Teddy, we've been off for a few weeks. Maybe the fans are a bit rusty.
Yeah, the eggnog has started early.
Or the tryptophan from Thanksgiving still floating through your body.
Maybe. No, the fans, hey, that's how they see it. They're looking at the aggression, obviously. I'm looking at the boxing. I'm looking at the clean punches, even if Gausha's not throwing as many.
Nice 1-2 there from Gausha. Feel free to reach out to our social media correspondent, Nigel Collins at ESPN FNF on Twitter. Nigel has been and will be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. Congratulations to him. We'll talk more about that honor later in this program. Oh, and Gausha got stood upright for a second.
And with a jab, not a punch on the inside. That's the good news. The best news for Vila. That he can get something done on the outside, not only the inside.
How about the offensive output, at least for Vila? He just has not stopped throwing punches, Teddy.
Yeah, but it's not about throwing, it's about landing. Look at these punches. They're not landing, Todd. They're being blocked. And even though Gausha's not throwing much, he's trying to make his count. And that one counted just there.
But if you're in a fight and you know you're not as skilled, you know you're not as talented, is that one of the things you can do? I'm just going to stay right in his face like a bee and just stay all over him?
Yeah, well, he's the less experienced guy and the less talented guy. The guy we're talking about, of course, is Vila. And one way to take away experience is to get on a guy and not let him use the experience. Smother him.
Work out of there, pull out. All right, stop. My break, push his head down.
You give a guy a little room, he can use the experience. And there's no doubt that Gausha likes room. And there's no doubt he showed that in the first round when he grabbed on the inside. He showed, he gave an x-ray a little bit of what he's about. There's a good right hand by Gausha. Again, not throwing a lot, but he's placing him. He's placing him.
That's sent Vila back for the first time, but Vila's still throwing punches. What action here in round 4? Round 4, the best so far in this middleweight contest.
This Tuesday.
Take a look at some of the action, especially from Gausha. There's a right uppercut landed by Vila. But Gausha placing his punches pretty good. Good right hand right there. And a good right hand there to finish it. That exchange by Gausha. So again, to your point, Todd, Vila, yeah, throwing a lot. But for me, Gausha landing what counts, the clean punches.
Cesar Vila's corner was saying that they felt that round was Terrell Gausha's, quote, last stand. That maybe Vila's wearing him down. What do you think?
I don't like to tell a fighter that. I know you're trying to pump him up, but if it's not his last stand, he comes out there full of fire. Well, then all of a sudden your fighter thinks you lied to him. And your fighter says, hey, I thought he was finished. And maybe he was dependent on him slowing down a little bit, and now he gets discouraged that that's not what's happening.
There's a nice right from Villa that sneaks in over the guard of Gausha. It depends on what the judges are looking at. If they like the technical precision, they like Gausha. If they like volume, then Villa is their man.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that. There shouldn't be that much, you know, really subjectivity to it. I mean, that's the problem with this sport sometimes. There should be a clear, concise criterion for who gets the rounds. And it's supposed to be about who lands the most clean, effective punches. That's it. And to your point, and that's a good point, that's why sometimes you get messed up decisions.
What about ring generalship?
Yeah, but for you, I can tell where ring generalship is. It's the aggressive guy. That's not for me. For me, the guy on the outside, Gausha, he's the ring general. Look, because he's in charge. He's doing what he wants to do. I don't care if he's pressing or not. He's effective.
Effective aggression. That's what we're seeing from Gausha. But Cesar Vila, for a 160-pounder,
Stop. Break. Step back clean.
continues to fire away. Can he keep this pace up if it goes to 4-8 rounds? He's only been to the 8th round one time in his career.
I think what he's trying to do on the inside is punch around the gloves of Gausha. Gausha's been blocking a lot of his punches, but Gausha, the opening is the looping punches around the glove. And Villa is trying to zero in on that. Look for that. Look for those looping punches now from Villa around the glove of Gausha. There it is.
You can see the steam has come off of Villa's punches. Every once in a while, he'll muster up the strength to land a decent shot, but for the most part, he's just keeping his hands moving.
And I can see inside his head. Do you see inside his head? Do you see what he's thinking? He's thinking, oh, why did you lie to me in the corner and tell me the guy has nothing left? I see that.
It may be Villa who doesn't have much left. Legs are starting to get a little wobbly. 3 rounds to go in our opening contest, and it's been a good one.
It's good.
Coming up next, Tyson Cave and Oscar Escandón. Impressive records. It's a 12-rounder, and the winner, not guaranteed, but very likely to get a world title shot. Round 6 now of this middleweight contest, Terrell Gausha and Cesar Vila. Villa seemed tired in round 5. Gausha's corner wanting him again to establish the jab, stay outside. Villa's corner wants him to get inside, get dirty. For those who enjoy listening to Teddy Atlas's commentary, and I'm sure that's everyone out there, Teddy, I know you'll be starting a 2-hour radio show on Sirius XM Sports Zone, Channel 92 in January. I believe it's January 6th. Every Tuesday, 2 hours. Teddy Atlas on the air. Uncensored.
Yeah, if you're not sick of me now, you'll be sick of me then.
College football getting set for the first ever college playoff. The Heisman Trophy presentation is headed your way Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Melvin Gordon up front from Wisconsin, Marcus Mariota, and Alabama's Amari Cooper, a fantastic wide receiver. Find out who'll take home the most coveted trophy in football this Saturday night.
I know who you're rooting for. Somebody from your roots, from
Alabama.
You're part of the neighborhood.
Well, he really is a talent. I know you like watching football too, Teddy.
Yeah, my son, who's was the coordinator of scouting for the Oakland Raiders, he loves him. Loves him.
Big win for the Raiders last week over San Francisco.
Yeah, they did have a good win.
The Atlas house is a happy house when the Raiders win.
Yeah, we are. Very happy. Big rivalry game in the Bay against San Francisco. They only play them once every 4 years. They got it done. They're going to be good next year. Right now, who's good? Well, Gausha is good. Why? Well, he's doing what he wants. He knows what he is. He's a boxer for the most part. He's taking what's given him. He likes to be on the outside, even though right now he's in close, but he's doing a good job with defense and a good job making Villa pay when he misses.
Teddy's scorecard, 5 rounds to none for Gausha. You've got it as a...
Oh, Gausha just saw that he hurt him a little bit with the right hand. As soon as he stepped back for a second, he didn't think the right hand did that much, but when he saw a little bit of a twitch in the legs of Villa, he jumped on him.
And now you can see Gausha sitting down on his power punches. Has Villa up against the ropes, the place Villa hasn't been too often tonight. A good round for Gausha. Make sure you score it on our Friday Night Fights Facebook page. You had it 3 rounds to 2.
Oh.
You know, I've been talking all night about Gausha making his punches count. Short and sweet, baby. Take a look right there. Short left hook, and that is sweet. Short right hand, and a short left hook behind it. Gausha doing it the right way. Compact punches in close, taking advantage of the little wider punches, the little space that Villa gives him.
Teddy, according to your scorecard, Villa basically needs a knockout. Do you feel like he's got the power and the technique to get it?
You know, it's not just about the power, it's about the ability to land it. And I haven't seen him have the ability to land it on Gausha clean enough to get the effect that he's going to need. And actually, for me, when you see a good fighter, Gausha's a pretty good fighter. You know, 150 amateur fights, Olympian in 2012, as I said earlier. Usually good fighters don't get hit 2 in a row. They might get hit 1, but not 2 in a row. I think it would take 2 in a row for Villa to get what he needs to knock out.
And Villa's best punch tonight wasn't a power punch, it was a jab.
Yeah, it's all about timing sometimes, and when he landed that jab, he timed the wider left hook of Gausha and caught him. See, right now, Gausha again is saying, hey, do some work for me. You come forward, let me counter you. Let me walk you into my punches. He's the spider right now, Gausha. And he's talking to the beetle. Villa, come to my web. Come into my web. And I'll give you that. And that. And that. Right there a moment ago, you saw a left hook from Gausha. Didn't do a lot of damage. Got a lot of spray going on. The reason it didn't do damage, he didn't turn it over.
I don't know if I've seen more sweat on 2 fighters ever, and it's not even that hot in here.
No, it's water, too. Both fighters are being doused in their corners.
Maybe they're wearing swimming trunks, not boxing trunks. There's a right hand from Villa, but it didn't have much mustard behind it. Just knocked Gausha off balance a little bit.
And look for the counter shots, and there they are.
Nice combination from Gausha.
Yeah, the faster hands are served on the inside there. You saw it. And again, space for Gausha, because all the punches from Villa a little wide, a little crooked. Gausha's shorter, straighter.
If you watch closely, you can see the face of Cesar Vila. He bites down very hard on his mouthpiece when he gets inside, as if to say, I'm about to throw 8, 9, 10 straight punches, and hopefully I don't get hit back hard.
Yeah, and while he's wasting time doing that and showing that expression, Gausha knows something's coming, and he can beat him to the mark. No different than a pitch on a mound, maybe sticking his tongue out before he throws a curveball. Then the hitter knows what's coming.
And speaking of mouthpieces, Villa just lost his, I believe.
When managing
Welcome back to the Pachango Resort and Casino for tonight's ESPN Boxing Special, presented by Corona. Nice product placement as we get set for the 8th and final round.
Sure, that's right.
So if you're in Villa's corner, what would you have told him as he has 1 round to somehow get a knockout?
Well, hopefully I tell him a trick, a little trickery, because anyone could tell him you need a knockout. I think everyone knows that at this point, or they should know that. But how? You need a trick. You haven't landed with cold punches all night. You need a little trick here. Maybe a little, we were talking football earlier, maybe a little reverse action. You know, a little bit of a draw play, so to speak. Start one hand, throw the other. something to trick him, something to open things up. And right now it looks like for that trickery, Villa's going to do it from the lefty stance.
Just continuing to hit Gausha's arms at this point. He's content just keeping his hands up, absorbing those punches.
And the one punch that has worked for Villa, at least early in the fight, was the uppercut. So I might tell him, get inside and see if you can land that uppercut again and put something on top of it.
Teddy has it 70-63 through 7 rounds. On Facebook, those of you scoring at home, 5 rounds to 2. So according to everyone's scorecards, Villa needs something special here with about 1:45 to go.
See, to your point earlier, right hand just landed by Villa. Not a bad right hand a moment ago. Actually, from the orthodox position, I wouldn't go back to southpaw. I don't know why he's going back to southpaw. He landed his best punch when the right hand was behind him, not the lead punch. I'd go back to the orthodox now if I was Villa and try to land that right hand again, like he did 30 seconds ago. This time I would put a left hook behind it. Jack Reese, good referee in there.
No blood.
Looking right away to see whether or not there's any damage from that head clash, and reports to ringside, no.
Gausha told us he eats, sleeps, and breathes boxing. All he does is train. He takes the weekend off after a fight, and then he's back at it on Monday. This is his 6th bout of 2014, looking to go 6-0. Would you like to see him again, Teddy? You like what you saw today?
Yeah, I like to follow guys that look like they're going to have careers, you know, and still at that formative part of their career where we can see them develop a little bit. Because Shea looks like he's going to have a career. Obviously, no shock. He's a 2000.
Oh, drops Villa with a beautiful combination. Reese says enough is enough. I think Villa was knocked out for a couple seconds. What an exclamation point by Terrell Gausha.
Sit down right here. I've seen enough, man. Hey, look at the scorecards.
His 8th professional knockout, his 18th win. Villa's corner is protesting, but what can you say when your fighter's flat on his back, staring up at the ceiling, and he's not moving?
Well, you can definitely say something. I mean, he did get right up, but at the end of the day, what would it matter? Maybe that's the better way to put it, quite frankly, Todd. But he did get right up, so I can see where they're arguing. But at the end of the day, he was way behind.
Let's get in there.
Well, there's the boxing. He blinds him with the right hand, lands the first right hand, and that's the benefit of counterpunching. We'll watch it again. Blinds him with the jab, hits him with the right hand, and then he puts 2 or 3 punches behind it. And see what happened there? What did I say earlier? That good fighters don't get hit 2 in a row. Well, he gets hit 1, 2, 3 in a row. And that's why V is not on the level of Gausha. And again, blinded by the jab, the right hand gets in, and then V is still there. So Gausha said, hey, you're still there? You're going to stand there? Guess what? I'll do that. I'll put them together. Now, to that point, if that was Gausha, for me, Gausha might have got hit the right hand, but then he would have moved his head, and the other punches would have missed. Villa, look at it. His head doesn't move after the initial punch, and he's there for the follow-up punches. That's why he went down.
So Terrell Gausha, 18-2 now, 6-0 in 2014 with his 8th professional knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 30 seconds of the 8th round for your winner by knockout and still undefeated, Terrell Gausha.
It was interesting, Teddy. I said to you, would you like to see Gausha again? And as you were telling me, yeah, I'd like to follow him, he does that. Now everybody wants to probably see him here again on Friday Night Fights, except for maybe Cesar Vila.
Well, it's important to close the show the right way. As they say in the show business, bring the curtain down. And he seemed to understand that. He brought the curtain down.
Welcome into ESPN's Boxing Special. Todd Grisham here with Teddy Atlas tonight. Our main event, Austin No Doubt Trout facing Luis Grajeda out of Mexico. We saw Austin Trout right here in this very ring a couple months ago facing Daniel Dawson. He got dropped twice in the third round and came back to win.
Yeah, guess what he got dropped with? He got dropped with right hands. The southpaw killer. And guess what Grajeda's best punch is? You got it. You guys are sharp. Not putting nothing past you guys. Right hand. And that's what makes this